All right, we'll go down to accounting here. So we'll take a look at sales tax. You can add a sales tax group. I'll edit one to take a look at them. When we click on edit, we have our sales tax group. Tax agency is a vendor in accounts payable. And you will probably, if you're paying your bills here, it's not required because not everyone is paying bills. But if you plan to pay the bills out of Managely, you would want to choose the correct tax agency. So in this case, it'd be like the state of California. Are we charging tax on reoccurring line items? If so, we'll toggle that to yes. Are we charging tax on non-reoccurring items? If so, we'll turn that to yes as well. If there are specific non-reoccurring items that you don't charge tax for, let's say you charge tax for parts but not labor, or vice versa, on the individual item, you can say if that's taxable or not. And when we take a look at items, we'll take a look. So for example, if in the state you're in, you charge tax on parts, but not labor, your labor items, you will not check off taxable. And then only the parts would be taxable with this toggle to yes. Okay. A base works when you are linking different jurisdictions together. For example, state tax, county, city tax. And we'll take a look at a linking here in a second. Breakout will then, if you have more than one tax linked together, again, you're a state, you're a county, you're a city, and you want that broken out on the invoice, if you have breakout toggle to yes, that should break that out. And then you have your GL account there, your default general ledger account. After you enter this, I have seen customers where they don't realize then they have to go to rates and add the rate. So if you click on rates over here, you'll click on add sales tax rate, and we'll edit this one. And we have a couple of different rates. Typically, it's going to be a flat rate, which is a percentage. So flat rate's the most common I've seen over the years. Percentage of a sale is like a sale amount, like the first 10% of the sale is taxed at this amount. And then the next 10% is taxed at this amount. So percentage of sale is a certain amount of a sale that's taxed. Max tax and max minimum tax, again, have to do with taxing up to a specific amount, minimum or maximum. I have not seen them used very often. I can think of one in Louisiana with percentage of sale, but other than that, I haven't seen too many over the years ever using anything other than flat rate. Tax rate would come in here. So what is the tax rate? You want to make sure if they are like a new customer and maybe they're entering invoices for a period of time that the start date is prior to any invoices they're entering if they want tax to be entered there. And this end date is a default end date, right? We have no end date until there is one. And let's just say at the end of this year, they're going to increase their tax rate. You could put an end date here, and then you would add a new sales tax rate for the new percentage for next year. Some of our customers will just try and override the percentage, and we don't want to do that. We want to make sure that we have an end date for one and add a new one with the new percentage, not just change this rate, as that could potentially change existing invoices. Just looking at the base and how the base works. So here I have New York State, which is considered a base. And then I have Suffolk County, which is part of New York State. How you link them together is the largest jurisdiction, let's say the state, should be the base. And then the county here, you would click on link, and you see I've included New York State here. So the state is 5% in this case. These are made up percentages. I don't know really what they are. And the county was its own percentage of 3%. So then the 5 and this 3% added together create this 8% that's showing on the county. rates. So your base is going to usually be a state or the largest area. And then if you have multiple counties, cities, things like that, you can add them and then include New York State in those counties, and it would add the rates together. It will have a breakout in the reports, the tax reports there.